Which are the various functions of marketing? I explained to you about the functions of marketing. A retailer is a person or it is an institution, one who delivers the goods or the products or the commodities to the consumers. So the retailers are selling the goods in smaller quantities and not in larger quantities. In order to be successful in the market, the retailing they have to take, or the retailer, he needs to offer an assortment of goods and services. Hi and a warm welcome to you all dear students. I, George Elime, Commerce Faculty, Department of Commerce, Vidyashram First Grade College, Mysuru, the Temple of Excellence. My dear students, today I am going to take up the session 1 of Unit 5, right? So in this session, we can see retail marketing. Let us understand first the introduction part. What do you mean by retailing? How it is important? All this we'll discuss in this particular session. So students, as I told you, the retail marketing is one of the important aspect in the market segment. It says retail is a person. Who is a retailer? A retailer is a person or it is an institution, one who delivers the goods or the products or the commodities to the consumers. That is in the form of various channels of distribution. So this retail is a person, one who is transferring the goods or the transfer of ownership of goods from retailer to the consumers through various channels of distribution. And these goods are services. These goods and services, they are being created for what? It has been created for the consumption, for the final consumption, that is for the consumers, so that it can be used by the people or the consumers, right? And it says this, it is a retailer who is assuming this particular task or the responsibility for transferring, or it says for taking the role, that is the goods to be reached to the final destiny or for the consumption. This is a person, that is the retail is a person, one who is taking the role or is assuming the responsibility, where he is going to see that that particular goods and services are being sent or it is been reached to the consumers for their final consumption. Now this person, retailer, he acts as a link between the manufacturer, middleman and the consumers. So this person, retailer, he acts as a link between the manufacturers, retailers, that is manufacturers, middleman and the consumer. So he is like this, manufacturer, then he will be there, middleman, and in between this there will be retailers and their consumers. So this is the chain, we call it as a chain of distribution in the channels of distribution. So this person, he acts as a link or a chain link between the manufacturers, the middleman and the consumers. What he does, what is the role and what is the responsibility? He delivers the goods or the products or services. So this person, retailer, he will be delivering the products and the services in the form, whatever the form it is, then in the form of size, that is, which is acceptable to the final consumers. So this person, retailer, he will be selling the goods or he will be delivering the goods or distributing the goods and the services, that is the product and services. It may be in the form or it may be in the different size and which has been acceptable by the final consumer or the customers. Now this retailer is also called as merchandising because he is a merchandising or the dealer of the manufacturers or the neck bottle of the distribution. So this person, retailer, is called or is described as, he has been described as merchandising arm. Why he is called as merchandising arm of manufacturer? Because he is dealing with the manufacturer. So he is having contact with the manufacturer and thereby he brings whatever the goods has been produced by the manufacturer and he supplies it to or distributes to the consumers, right? So he is also called as the neck in the bottle of the distribution. Why is called neck in the bottle of distribution? Because that is the last stage where he is going to disperse or distribute the goods and consumers for the final consumption. Now, retail trade, if you take this, retail is acting as a trade and which has developed, that is, or it has been developed over a period of time. So from so many years we are seeing this retail trade, and it is from unorganized street vendors, or it is maybe like sellers like Sabji Wala, Pan Wala, all these are organized shops like super bazaars, department stores. So retail trade, it has been developed through many centuries, right? And it is from unorganized sector, that is from street vendors or the sellers. Who are those? Sabji walas, then we have pan walas, right? These are all unorganized sectors, and it including the organized shops. Which are organized shops? Such as super bazaars, departmental stores, etc. Now, if you see today, we are in the revolution in the field of retail business, because lot of things have been revolutionized or it has been changed. So there is a emerging trends now in the latest 21st century. So with the entry of the firms like Big Bazaar, More, McDonald, Walmart, all these are the big companies or big distributors or the retailers where they have come up to distribute the products and services to the customers. And they are not just delivering the goods. Instead of just delivering the goods, what they are doing? They are also satisfying the needs and wants of the people. How they are satisfying the needs and wants of the people? That is by ensuring customer delight. That is giving a satisfaction to the customers. They are rendering their services as the retailers. Now this retailing, it has been developed because as a more organized activity. Nowadays, if you see the retailing or retailers or retailing business, it has become a developed phenomena where it is a very more organized activity. It has become a more organized than an unorganized sectors, because it is adopting various functions of marketing. Which are the various functions of marketing? I explained to you about the functions of marketing. That is buying and assembling, then standardization and grading, then warehousing, transportation, right? So financing, risk bearing, all these are different types of functions of marketing. So this retailing has adopted the various functions of marketing in the distribution of goods and services. That is why it has become more organized and it is called as an organized activity. Now in the words of William J. Stanton, this person, he defines or he says about the retailing as what? A retailer or a retail store is a business enterprise. So according to William J. Stanton, he says a retailer or a retail store is what? Is a business enterprise or an organization or a company, right? Which sells primarily to the ultimate consumers. So they are selling finally, that is to the ultimate consumers, that is for non-business use. So this person, William J. Stanton, in his words, he defines the retailing marketing or retailing as a retail or retail store is a business store or a business enterprise or a company, right, which sells primarily the main basic things, right, to the ultimate consumers or to the customers, and it is of non-business use. So here they are selling goods and commodities not for the business people, but it says not for again reuse it, but it is for final consumption to the customers. Now, if you see, retail purchases the products for the purpose of reselling them to the consumers. So these retailers, they purchase the goods from the manufacturers or from the middlemen or from the wholesalers, not for reselling them, but instead of to give it or to give for the consumers for the final consumption. So in order to make a profit, why they are doing this thing? What is the necessity of doing the retail business or retail marketing? It is nothing but to see that to satisfy the wants and the needs of the consumers, so that whatever the goods are being distributed by the retailers or by retailing, so here the goods will be sent to the final consumer for the final consumption. That is for the own use of the consumers, and also in order to achieve the profit, right? So mail order and automatic vending machines are also classified as part of retailing. So mail order business as well as automatic vending, these are also two important aspects or two important elements. It is also classified as the part of retailing activity. And retailers provide, what the retailers provide here? They provide the place utility. So they provide you the place utility, that is where it can be stored, right? By having products where the consumer want to buy them. So by creating a place, that is by having a shop or a retail store or a retail outlet, it helps the consumers to get the products, whichever products they need or want, right? So that they can buy it easily. Then it creates time utility. Retailers create time utility. How? By trading at times when consumers want to buy. So they are going to purchase the goods in lots and bring them and store it in his store, that is in godowns or in his shop or in the outlets, so that they can sell these goods according to the demand of the customers. So whenever the customer needs it, the retailers will be providing them. That is called as time utility. Then third one is the possession utility. Possession means it's facilitating the transfer of ownership or the use of products to consumers. So possession means as the products have been sold to the customers by the retailers, the ownership and the possession is been transferred from the retailers to the ultimate consumers. So now the buyer, the customers or the consumer will become the owner of that particular goods or commodities or the products and the service. Now the next is form utility. Here the retail services such as hairdressers, dry cleaners, restaurants, all these will create a form utility where that particular utility is being satisfied in the form of form utilities. Now, retailing includes all the activities. Which are those activities? That is involved in selling and goods and services directly to the final consumers for the final non-professional use. So this retailing business, they include all those particular activities, marketing activities, or we say marketing activities or the activities which is involved in selling the goods and services to the consumers for the final consumption. That is what it says, for their personal non-business use. It is not being sold to the customers again to resell it, but it is sold to consumers by the retailers for the final consumption. Now the word retail has come from the French expression or the French word, right? It says retailer, which means to cut again. So this particular word retail has come from the French word, that is, according to French, retail means to break. That means to break the bulk. We say to break the bulk. So the retailers are selling the goods in smaller quantities and not in larger quantities. So they buy the goods from the wholesalers, from manufacturers or the agents in larger quantities in bulk, but they are again dividing them and selling them in small units or parts. And we say breaking the bulk means that is the retailers, they sell the goods in smaller quantities. That is the meaning, right? So here we can see a retail store is viewed as one that cuts off the small portion from a big lump of goods. So a retail store, if you see, they'll be purchasing larger quantity, but you'll be breaking them into small quantities, making that particular into small quantities, small units, and sell them in smaller quantities and smaller parts to the consumers for final consumption. That is what it says. That is to cut or break, to break the bulk. That is the meaning. So in this sense, it says retailing is what? It is just the opposite of wholesaling. Retailing is just the opposite of wholesaling, because retailing is doing in a small business, whereas wholesaling, wholesale trade is being done in a larger scale, which comprises sale in bulk. So here you are selling the goods in a larger quantity, that is in wholesale trade, but in the retail trade you are selling the goods in a smaller quantities. So, but retailing is also the last link in the chain of distribution. So this retailing is one of the last link in the chain of distribution. Why? Because we have manufacturers first in the beginning, then we have the wholesalers, or we call the agents, then we have the retailers, and finally it reaches the consumers. So this is how there is a chain link in the distribution channels of retail marketing. So this retailing is also the last link in the chain of distribution, because from the manufacturer to the consumers. So from the manufacturers, they purchase it, or from the wholesale they purchase it, and finally it reaches the last stage where they are selling it to the final consumers. That is why we say that retailing is the last link in the process of distribution. So any firm, it may be the manufacturer, wholesale or retail store, it says, which sells something to the ultimate consumers for the non-business use, regardless of how it is sold. That is, whether it is by person in face-to-face or through telephone or mail or vending machine, or where it is sold in the stores or consumer homes, is making a retail sale. So retail sale can be in different forms. It says any firm you take, whether it is a manufacturer or it may be the wholesaler or the retail store or retailer, which they sell something. All these people do what? They are doing some activity, that is a selling activity, right? To the ultimate consumer. To whom they are selling? To the ultimate consumer or customers, that is for the final customers. That is for a final consumption, we say final consumption, and regardless of how it is being sold. Whatever case may be, how it is being sold, like it may be sold from interaction direct, buyers and sellers meet each other, or it may be through telephone or through internet, via internet, or it may be through different kinds of modes, right? But, and also where it is sold, that is whether it is sold at a store or in the consumer's home, anything it may be. But all this includes what? Finally, the retail sale. Now coming to the nature, the next important topic in this retail marketing is nature of retailing. Students, here we have different aspects of nature of retail marketing. First, we'll take up the first point. It says part of marketing. Retail trade is a part of marketing, it says, because it is a part of marketing activity. Retail trade is a part of marketing activity. Why? Because it helps the product to reach the final consumers. Why it is called as a part of the marketing? Because it is the activity where the retailer sells the goods, or the retailing sees that it sells the goods to the final consumer for final consumption. So this is also the goal of marketing. What is the goal of marketing? To see that products are being reached to the ultimate consumers for final consumption, right? And that is the main goal of a marketing, that is satisfying the needs and wants of the customers. So here we say it marketing, that is retailing, it facilitates the marketing activities by targeting the wide variety of customers. So this particular retailing, it will facilitate the marketing people or the marketers, right, or the marketing activities by targeting the various customers, wide range of customers or big population, we say. Now coming to the second point, it says customer centric. This particular retailing is totally of customer centric. It is concentrating totally on the customers to distribute the products and to sell them for final consumption and satisfy the needs and wants of the customers. So the whole concept of retailing involves, we can see here, the whole concept of retail marketing, it depends upon what? Around the customer. So everything is surrounded, all the activities which are done in the retail marketing is been surrounded by the customer. So here, due to increased competition, because in retail marketing also we find lot of competition. There are so many products and similar products is being sold by the competitors. In that case, there is lot of competition, and because of competition, all the retailers want to attract the customers. So because of competition, every competitor wants to attract the customers for his product. In that case, the retailers use various sales promotional tools. So when they want to attract the customers, when there is lot of competition, what the retailers has to do? The retailer has to attract the customers by using different promotional tools or different marketing strategies has to be followed. Right? Methods such as it may be giving discounts to the consumers on the products, or lure the customers by way of buy one get one free, right? Buy two get two free, right? Like this, offers, different discounts, right? Or giving some different methods where it can be attracting the customers at a larger scale. The third nature says multi-dimensional. So this particular retail marketing is totally not of single aspect, but it is of several dimensional. It takes into different various ways. So retailing has different dimensions or many dimensions. So here they vary from local kirana shops to kiosks to shopping malls, then selling multiple branded products. So here, as I told you, multi-dimensional means because retailing is not selling only one product, or it is not sold in one store. Now it has been started. This particular retailing is started from the kirana shops, that is from the small shops, and it goes up to super malls selling different and variety of products which has been given for the final consumption or distributed to consumers for the final consumption for their consumption stage, or we say for the final consumption, right? And in order to satisfy their wants and needs. Now, they'll be selling different multiple branded products. in this particular shops on the super bazaars we say or malls. Now nowadays if you see, there is a lot of increase in the use of internet. In internet also nowadays you can buy the products. So the retailing has made very good business in the form of internet also. That is, just sitting at home, you can just switch on, open that particular app. Nowadays we can see a lot of apps are there. It is like Amazon or a Meso, whatever different kinds of apps are there. So you can start buying and selling the goods in this particular from this app. So through via internet. So that is what it says. Now it has become multi-dimensional. Now this particular retailing, the next nature says it varies from in the geographic locations. Varying in geographic location means this geographical area of reach of retailers varies widely. It is not only concentrating on only one sector of people or in only one area. It is divided, or it is been, so you can see it in different areas, in different locations, in different geographical locations. You find this marketing, that is retail marketing, is being done. So it varies from local market selling the goods to the local customers only to super malls who have large variety of customers from different areas and even different cities. So how it is been classified? On the basis of geographical area locations, it will reach the customers, that is from the local area to the local market by selling or to the local customers who are there in that particular local area or in local location, right? And also selling in the super malls. They are selling the goods in the super malls which is having a very large variety of customers from different areas. They come and they purchase the goods, right? And also in different cities you can find this kind of super malls. And nowadays if you see, due to increase, that is use of internet, the retailers, what they are doing, they are having the customers from all over the country also and even from abroad. So as I told you, sitting at home you can buy and sell. So now the customers are there for the retailers, even from the country as well as from the abroad, from other countries also. The retailers are getting the customers for their products or for the commodities and the services which they provide, right? So that is about the geographical location. Next is transformational. That is, transformational means it is start of retailing as a full-fledged business. There are many huge transformations. What are these transformation? Transformation, generally it says it is in the form of objectives of retailing. What are the objectives of retailing? Earlier profit driven, now customer focused. So main objective or the transformation generally which has been taken place in the form of objectives of retailing is, earlier they were thinking of earning profits, but nowadays they are concentrating on customer. They are focusing on customer. That is the objective of this retailing. So that is called as transformation. The retailing business is been transformed. They have been transformed from the objective of the retailing that is from profit concentration towards, that is nowadays they are focusing on the customer satisfaction. So the methods of retailing, not only the object of retailing is only for earlier profit driven, now it is customer oriented or focus, but also the methods of retailing, they have changed their methods of retailing. That is from simple retail shops which was there earlier, now if you see, to multi-brand malls where the goods are being sold, right? And also areas covered. Earlier they were covering only small areas, but now the whole country and the international market also they are seen, right? And the customers, from simple local customers, it may be to the walks of life. Like this, they have been transformed. The retail marketing has been transformed into many ways. That is in the form of objectives of retailing, such as that is concentrating of profit driven. Now they are concentrating on customer focus. Secondly, methods of retailing, where they have changed the methods from simple retail shops to multi-brand malls. Then the areas covered was earlier only local areas, but now they have gone to the national market and international market also. They are selling and distributing the goods. And also the customers, earlier they were concentrating on only the local and the few customers, but nowadays they are concentrating the whole of customers around the globe. Next is the complex management process. It says retailing seems it is like a very simple process. Retailing is a simple process, but in reality it says it is a very complex process. So if you just think that retailing means it is a simple process, but it is not so. We are wrong, because retailing concept is a very, the complex management, because in reality it is a complex management process. It says it involves retail stores being located in different convenient places. If you see the retail shops, the retailing involves where the shops are being located, that is the retail shops are located, or the outlets are being located in different convenient places where the customers can conveniently come and they can purchase the goods. Then arranging the goods according to different price bands. So here not only it undertakes to see that it has been set up at a convenient place, but also they are arranging the goods and services according to the different price brands. So it is also a complex activity. Then selling goods in the quantitative convenient to the customers. So it says selling the goods in the qualities, whatever the qualities the customer requires, according to the qualities convenience, the customers will be made available of such kind of goods. Then after sales service, proper after sales service also will be given, or it has to be taken into consideration for giving after sales service to the customers, and wide range of sales promotional methods has to be undertaken, right, in order to attract the customers. So all these are the important aspects. So in reality, if you see, the retailing is the very complex process, and it is not a simple process, because all these things has to be taken in consideration, that where the products has to be sold, which is the convenient place to sell the products to the consumers, then where the goods has to be arranged, right, according to the different price brands, then selling the goods in quantities according to the convenience of the customers, right, as well as giving a proper after sales service. All these are very, very important aspects, and also it has to undergo, or it has to take lot of sales promotional activities for the attracting the customers. So therefore it says the proper customer relationship management, that is CRM programs, to maintain long healthy relationships with the customers. So what they do, they keep CRM programs, that is proper customer relationship management programs, in order to keep the customers with them and to attract the new customers also for their products. Then assortment of products and services. What is assortment? Assortment means, it says retailing involves a combination of goods and services. So it is a combination, the mixture of goods and services. Assortment of products and services includes, it is not only says that it is not possible for a retailer to survive in today's world by just offering a single product, right? Just by giving a single product, you cannot survive in the market. So what they have to do, so in order to be successful in the market, the retailing they have to take, or the retailer, he needs to offer an assortment of goods and services. What is this assortment of goods and services? For example, if you see a baker, he cannot just be surviving. He cannot survive just by selling a few cakes and biscuits in his shop. So instead, what he has to do, in order to survive in the market, he has to survive in the competitive market. So he needs to do what? He needs a proper environment called as ambience, which is pleasing in the eyes of the customers. So this is very, very important in order for the survival of and the growth of the retailing business. Secondly, he needs a variety of cakes and biscuits. So not only that, he looks into the, the proper environment called ambience. So he doesn't, not only the ambience is required, which is the pleasing to the eyes of the customers, but also he needs to see that there is a variety of cakes and biscuits which is been baked in his shop or in his bakery, along with other products like sweets and all. So along with that, he also needs to keep some confectionery items. That's what I said, the chocolates or the sweets, where the people likely to buy along with other products or with the main products, so that such as it may be chocolates, cookies, soft drinks, then burgers, hot dogs, all these has to be also kept in his bakery or in his shop along with the main products. Only then the customers will be happy to buy the products along with the other small products, that is, it may be the confectionery items. Now apart from these items, people may expect him also to keep a few items such as the birthday as well as anniversary candles. So when you go to a bakery, sometimes you ask him, we want to have a birthday cake, right? So he'll bake you with the birthday cake and he'll give you the birthday cake. But for that, again, you need some candles, you need some what you call anniversary candles, party poppers, decoration items, all this has been required. So this person keeps along with the cakes, the birthday cakes, anniversary cakes, along with that, if he sells all these other items, the decoration items and such as well as the candles, party candles, all this, then it will be helpful for the seller also to get more customers, and also you can see he can survive in the market and even he can attract a lot of customers. And after this product, people also may expect him to take orders on phone also. So nowadays during lockdowns, so we were having lot of anniversaries we celebrated, then birthdays we celebrated, but we were not allowed to go out and take or purchase the cakes. But it was also given a permission where you can sit at home, just call and they will supply you. So they will deliver you the products. So here also the people, the customers, they expect the seller, that is the baker, to take the phone calls, the orders in the phone calls also, and also provide the home delivery of that particular items which has been purchased. So therefore it is very easier and said that retailing is an assortment of various goods and services. That's why we say that the retailing business is the various assortment of goods and services. And studying demand pattern. Studying demand pattern is also one of the nature of the retailing. It says a retailer is required to study the current demand pattern. So every retailer has to be in the market. He has to look into the market and concentrate on the market and study the current situation or the demand pattern of the products which has been offered by him in the market. So he has to have the knowledge and he should be alert about what are the products he is selling it, whether there is a demand for that particular product in his current situation. So when he studies this current pattern or the demand for that particular products which he is selling, he can easily find out the quantity of goods he needs to buy in a bulk from wholesalers. So according to demand, he is going to purchase the goods from the wholesaler in a larger quantity, that is in bulk, if there is a lot of demand for that product from the customers. And also in case if he buys a huge quantity of goods without studying the market, then they may not be, without studying the market pattern or the demand pattern, then he may have to be face the risk of goods, that is which he has purchased, that is obsolescence of goods, where he can, obsolescence of goods means he buys the goods in larger quantities but there is no demand for it. Finally they may not be sold in the market and it has to be outdated, the goods will be outdated. So moreover, large stocks also needs variety, large areas for storage. So when you purchase the goods in larger quantities, and also it says you require the space, you require the space for keeping them or storing them in your stores. That is also one of the important aspects where you think about purchasing the goods in the larger quantities or in the bulk, so that whether there is space for your storage of that particular goods or not. So all this have to be arranged by the retailer. So this is what it is studying about demand pattern. Then creation of utilities. See, a retailer has to create the utilities, that is place utility, time utility, right? All this he has to need to understand, and accordingly he needs to create the utilities. So a retailer helps in creation of time and place utilities. Time means when the customer needs. So according to that customer needs and demand, he needs to sell the products, and the place where it is a convenient place for that is buyers to buy. So these two important aspects, that is the utilities called as place utility and time utility, has to be set up by this retailer. So the retailer helps in creation of these two aspects, that is the creation of time and creation of utilities. Now time utility is created when goods are made available, right, to the at a particular time. That's what I said. So time utility means it is where the goods has to be, that is it has to be distributed or sold to the customers at that particular time when there is a demand, according to demand. And the retailer creates time utilities by storing the goods. How he is going to create this time utilities? Time utility has been created by the retailer in the form of storing the goods in his godowns, so that it is easy for him to sell the goods as and when the customer needs it or requires it, and makes it available to the customers whenever it is needed. Now place utility means making the goods available at different places away from the place of market, that is manufacturing. So place utility also will be undertaken by this retailer or in the retailing, because they need to see that the goods are being sold at different convenient places according to the convenience of the customers for buying that particular products. So retailer makes the goods available to the consumers or the customers, that is in various locations away from the manufacturing location. So from the manufacturing location, he is going to see that he is going to allot different locations which is very convenient on part of buying from the customer side or customer point of view, right? So that the customer will be easily come to that particular location or the place or the area and where they can easily buy the products. And we have private branding and labeling. Even retailing undertakes this branding and labeling activities also. So some of the manufacturers, what they do, they manufacture the goods and they sell it. So here, when he buys them in a big bulk quantities, so when they buy in the bulk quantities, they are going to break them. I told you, retailing means break the bulk. Right? So bringing or breaking the bulk, the larger goods, and making them into small quantities, small units or lots, and it may be into small packs or into small tins or baggages, right? So here the retailing activity is a result in creation of private brands. What is private branding or private labeling? It means buying the product directly from the manufacturer. That's what I said. Buying the product directly from the manufacturer and giving them their own brand name. So they just buy the products from the, for example, it may be like buying the agriculture products, the rice or ragi or wheat, whatever it is. They buy them, right? And they bring it in their shops or in the godowns, and they bulk, that is, they break the bulk, and they are going to give their own brand names or own labeling. They do it on their own. So by giving the brand name by the retailer, so brand name and labeling will be done on part of retailer only. So with the increase in retail, there has been increase in the exclusive retail stores by selling products on particular branded only. So they are selling them on a particular branded. Now if you see the rice, now as a farmer grows the rice in the fields, so he is not going to give any kind of brands for that. He just sells them to the what? To the people, that is to the wholesaler or in the market. Now the wholesaler, what they does, wholesaler, the retailer, they purchase them in larger quantities and they grade them according to the standard wise, according to the quality wise, the size, all this. So even the tea leaves, we say, tea leaves that has been put in the machines, and there we can see the tea powder comes out, and that tea powder is been again segregated or it has been differentiated by giving different brand names. Like we have Tata, then we have Three Roses, right? Then Brook Bond, and then Tata Agni. Like this, different kinds of branded and labeling has been done by the retailers. So example, see, we can see here Big Bazaar, Food Bazaar, then all this Reliance Trends, Reliance Footprints, Reliance Fresh. See, all these, they are nothing but, these are the retailers, they are having their own private brand names and the labeling is been done according to them. And some of the divisions of Reliance Retail, which is a subsidiary of Retail Industries. Now, students, as we have seen the natures, the 10 important points on part of nature of retailing, let us go to the next topic, that is various other services. Other than this, what are the other services which is being done by the retailing or retailers? They provide finance to the consumers. So sometimes the consumers, they will be getting the finance from the retailers, because if you become very closely to the retailer, and also you can see he'll gives you the credit facilities also. You can buy the goods on credit from the retailers. Then he'll be financing the customers, then providing after sale service, right? So when you purchase the car or any vehicle, right, they are going to give you the after sale service. That is the servicing part. They'll give free service, 3 service, then free 3 service, and next another 3 or 5 paid service if you want. So this is the after sale service given by the retailing or retail business. Then installing the products as well as displaying and demonstration of the products will be undertaken by the retailing. So students, these are the various aspects which I covered to you under this session 1 of retail marketing. So hope you understood the topics which I covered to you. Thinking that you understood all the topics now which I have covered in this session, I'll see you in the next class. Until then, take care. Have a nice day. Thank you, students.